Granny sent me a picture of her son eating McDonald's.
She's with her kid right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Not my son, but, I do kind of like...
Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I totally understand what's going on. The whole dynamic. That thing's always, Yeah. It's always rough with my kid and everything, so...
Let me just text her that we're doing a podcast real fast.
Yeah, we're filming. We're not going to take long. We're only going to take like less than an hour, really.
Yeah.
We do that, upload that to the internet, and then we're going to go to,
Yeah, so, let me know next time you,
I'll contact you, and I'll give you a heads up. I'll be like, hey, we're going over to, Easy's house to film a new episode, We're going to, actually, it's going to be the four of us. It's going to be him, it's going to be me, probably you, and probably Cash.
Cash?
Yeah, Cash.
Who's Cash?
Cash is a guy who, we talked to, he wanted to have us, like, as a guest or whatever, and I basically said, yeah, because
Is he a Rastafarian guy?
No, I don't believe so, but he's a friend of Easy's, and he says he's been working in restaurants, like the fast food chains for, like, 10 or 11 years, so he knows all the secrets about...
I need to extract some of those from him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I gotta extract some of those from him,
Yeah,
shit.
absolutely, yeah. And he knows everything. He knows. We talked about Subway and how Subway, pre-processes a lot of the meats and the veggies are all organically homegrown and everything, but everything else is kind of, processed or, shipped overseas or whatever. So.
Shit. Hang on.
We definitely got to go to church and pray for him because the CT scan, it could be nothing, but it could be cancer as well. So. Got to keep all that in mind. Been having health issues for 30 years really. So
here's the thing though, with me in church,
No, I get it. I know. I totally understand.
I mean, I wish nothing but the best for him. Because he is my friend too.
I'm familiar with that. Yes.
But I kind of fell away from the whole church scene.
You fell out of love with God because of it.
No, just not because of it, just my own choice,
Yeah.
I have no judgment, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Against or towards anyone who, do choose to follow a religion of any sort. But me personally, I'm just not the religious type.
Yeah.
But
weren't you involved with the cult way back when? This was way back when.
Yeah. I was in a kind of like a rehab.
Yeah.
They're long shut down by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least that's what I hope still.
That's a good thing at least, yeah.
This place, you cool if I talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. You have the floor. Go on ahead.
This place, it's located in Banning and Riverside. Literally they have two houses from what I know, a women's house and a men's house. And they're located literally smack dab in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? It is the only house. There's a couple other houses that you could see in the distance.
Yeah.
But it is the only house, and you have, in a 100-yard radius, bro. And you have to take, a dirt road just to get there, a mile off of the main road just to get to this house in the middle of nowhere.
Like San Pasqual Academy, when I went to high school there, you literally had to go past the safari park and then, the whole thing with the orange groves and the whole deal. So
it's freaking crazy,
It is in the middle of nowhere, yeah. And don't try running away or anything.
Don't!
Yeah, exactly. It's just no
the
point.
wolves or the coyotes will get you.
Yeah, freaking... If heat exposure and exhaustion and, dehydration won't get you, the wildlife will. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you try, I witnessed a couple people actually try to leave, and guess what? They were brought back. They were brought back in a white van, okay, with some big-ass dudes, right?
Yeah.
Who wearing crucifixes and shit, but they're some big-ass dudes. Like this one guy, he came back, right?
Yeah.
And they should have had his, their hands on his shoulders, escorting him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You ever saw Vine?
Vine?
Back when that was a deal?
I actually had a Vine account, yeah.
Vine had to walk so TikTok could run. In any event, when, freaking, I think it was King Batch or something, he just goes...
I love King Batch,
He goes, freeze, you're under arrest, and the fat guy's all running or whatever, he's just freaking, just waiting, taking his time, and he just, he gets all exhausted and gassed and everything. He's just like, all right, let's go take your fat ass back to jail. it's like, man, I'm gonna beat your ass. Ooh, a burger. It's just
I remember. It wasn't on Vine, but King Batch. Oh, excuse me. King Batch went from Vine, to a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, he's been doing comedy. He's been stand-up comedy and everything.
And movies.
Yeah.
And movies.
It's the whole deal with hecklers or whatever. It's like tell a dirty joke. It's like tell me a dirty joke. Show me your pussy.
I recommend you looking up this Vine or not. No, they're no longer called Vines. Vine doesn't exist anymore. But
I know, but they still have loads of compilations.
Yeah,
of all of the freaking
on YouTube.
of all the people who who really
Jake
pop
Paul,
off and get famous.
not Jake Paul. His brother, I think it was, right?
You got Jake Paul, yeah. You got Jake Paul. You got King Batch. Who else do you have? You had Mr. Legendarius.
Yeah.
You had D-Storm Power. You had
that one dude. What was his name? He kind of looks like Aziz Ansari.
Aziz Ansari. Oh, Anwar Jabari.
Yeah. You had him.
You had Zach King. Who else do you have? You had
What about that one African dude? You punk beach.
Punk beach. I'm no punk beach. No, there's even freaking Bo Burnham had a Vine account.
Yeah. But there was like a lot of foreign people who speak English clearly, that had them too. But
had everyone from Amanda Cerny.
I think that was one of the first social media platforms where you can actually profit on, huh?
Yeah, I think Gabby Hanna had that as well. Like I said, it's just hard to break out of that. Are you done talking about this or anything? Or because I was just gonna send her back to us. Yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but just if you ever hear of a rehab home. That takes in literally anyone, okay? Literally anyone. There was a fucking pedophile that lived there, bro.
Comment below if you know the place, because like I said, we've been through places like
and it's located in Banning. Don't go there. Doesn't matter how desperate you are for a shelter over your head, okay? Literally the only way you'd be able to get out of there is how I got out of there. Faking at 5150.
We don't care if you're even going to go out there to Banning just to get a double gulp.
Don't even fuck with that place.
Yeah,
they're cults. They
go around that place, yeah.
People say that. You ever heard of Set Free?
Oh, Set Free?
Yeah, they say that that's a cult, but
no, it's a church.
It is.
There's between a church and a cult. I mean, there's where we're not a gang. There's a motorcycle club, but outside of that, I wouldn't say cult,
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, what's going on?
That MC your mom was talking about that one day. Is it a legitimate MC or are they just like a organization?
They're
like a church?
They're a motorcycle club. I think for the past 30 years. I think it was for as far back as the 80s.
But they're not outlaws.
Christ's Sons Motorcycle Club. They're an outreach group.
They're
basically an outreach group. The whole thing is that they're
not like Hell's Angels.
They wear jackets
like
and they ride. They ride for Jesus Christ and everything. They're all doing outreach and everything. So yeah. I mean, it's more power to them, I mean, I feel obligated to go tonight just because, I suffered a stroke 5 years ago and, I could have died. And,
power to you, bro.
Yeah, and I lived, so, like I said, and to thank him, that's why I go there sometimes every, week or something.
To each his own.
To each his own, yeah. I mean, I don't blame you, dude. Because honestly, I don't, you hate the, you don't hate God, you just hate the individuals, is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are trying to, the ones that are trying to freaking...
I hate what is becoming of the belief of God.
Yeah.
Sorry, hang on.
And the individuals irk you, and that's what, don't let that sway your opinion of,
See, I think I told you this, I grew up a Roman Catholic.
Yeah, I know.
I went to Mass. I prayed, you know what I'm saying? I was legitimately, into it all, you know. And my dad's Irish, so of course I'm going to be a Roman Catholic,
Of course.
But,
absolutely.
So, when I first started discovering all the legal shit that was illegal activity that was going on in the Catholic faith alone, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like after I turned 18, I couldn't be a part of that anymore. Where the leaders of the church that, I was with, they were around the country and in other countries molesting children, you know what I'm saying, and getting away with it scot-free.
I remember, I remember
I couldn't abide that. I couldn't be
you can't.
a part of that, especially if I'm going to be listening to these people. So,
Yeah, I know.
what I did after that, right? I told my parents, like, look, I renounce Catholicism.
Yeah.
However, I do not renounce God.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
I like during this time, right? I was like, you know what? I'm going to experiment with other faiths. I started experimenting with Mormonism.
Yeah.
You know, Mormons. Like, I started going to their church, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
Just branching out.
Exactly.
Finding different places, what works and what doesn't,
Now, here's what I'll say. When it comes to the Christian faith, right?
Uh-huh.
The one denomination I actually have immense respect for because of they tend to evolve with the times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They tend to evolve. They tend to keep things fair.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed is non-denominational churches.
Yeah.
They're the ones that usually you can indicate them, right? You could easily classify them with like a rock band, playing music on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? For the singing God, like they're more evolved. They're more forgiving when it comes to committing sins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I started finding myself with them, but at the same time, like I said, I'm not going to go into details or anything because I do not want to come off as offensive. You know what I'm saying?
Like you don't mind changing the music at all. You're kind of like hesitant to actually rock with that band because they change up band members and everything.
No. I had nothing wrong. They played wonderfully.
Yeah, absolutely.
They knew how, they would practice. I know that they would practice, and you know what I'm saying. Make Sunday an event where everyone's dancing to. You know what I'm saying. It wasn't that. It was. I'm just going to be outright. It was the concept. It was the concept of Christianity that I couldn't follow anymore. I'm a man of logic. Do you know what I'm saying? And logic is what has literally kept me alive.
Who gets swallowed up by a whale for 3 days straight, and all of a sudden, that's
exactly. Shit like that.
Simple things of that nature.
You can't. If I can't scientifically explain it, you know what I'm saying? Then I can't, or if I can't logically or scientifically explain, why these things happened and when these things happened and how they happened, then it's not something that my brain can wrap around.
Yeah, sources. Trust me, bro. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you want me to, like I said, I don't have anything against people that are Christian, people that choose to follow the belief, you know what I'm saying? And if anything, I admire it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as a churchgoer myself, I mean, I don't pressure any of you guys to follow anything, that's up to you guys, that's all on you,
It's just there's things that are said, mentioned, and spoken about in the Bible that I can't, get with. I can't get with the program.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, we let you be your own person, and
exactly.
Form your own beliefs.
Now, when it starts getting frustrating, right, is when it's being shoved down my throat.
Absolutely.
Like, I make it clear, you know what I'm saying, that, like, I'm not a Christian. I'm not religious at all.
Yeah.
I don't
Remember that time when the Mormons came over?
Oh, yeah, I was
sitting here the whole time, and I was just like, oh, fuck. Oh,
exactly.
I don't even cuss, but I'm just like, oh, my God, are you serious? Like, he just...
That's why I'm glad to be in an ILF like this, too, because they're not like, I understand, that CY is like a pastor or something like that,
Absolutely,
He's like a pastor or minister or something like that. But I appreciate the fact that they don't come here and during meetings and whatnot, they're not making it all about God,
They don't. They leave their faith at the door.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like with CY, they leave. He leaves his work on Sundays.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He goes to work on Sundays and he leaves his work there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't bring it over. You don't see a bunch of crucifixes. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is shoved down your throat because they understand that not everyone's going to agree with it.
It's not forced, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so I appreciate this ILF, and to be honest, me and Bernadine, we were considering for like the last couple months moving to another ILF, but there's multiple reasons for that.
What swayed you to stay?
Well, first off, that fact that I laid down, like what if we go to another ILF and like you got the owners over there preaching the word, you know what I'm saying, every day of the week, forcing people to attend things that they don't want to, even though I'm pretty sure things like that is against the law. not a lot of ILFs that I've been in are known to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Legitimate.
They don't make church a requirement.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't.
There was this one ILF where I went to where actually they in a way kind of did. Otherwise, you didn't have, if you didn't go to church on Sundays with the owner of the ILF,
yeah,
right? Basically, you were not entitled to the food that was brought for the house.
Well, don't mention organization or any names or any,
Oh yeah, I'm not going to mention the name.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want.
But when I first came out here to San Diego,
we don't want to throw shade.
When I first came out here to San Diego, that was one of the first ILFs I've ever stayed in.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of corruption happening on the side too.
If you don't want to go to, if you don't want to go to church, you don't have to eat. That's the whole deal. That's the whole thing that I had to deal with growing up. It's like, if you don't go to church, then you're grounded.
Really?
Yeah, that's really what it was. When I was in a foster home like that, the Pinedas were Christians. They basically.
See, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but I kind of get it because I'm the child, and it's kind of like their decision of whether I go or don't go to church. So.
I get that, but like.
That was kind of the whole deal.
But like, if you're like a teenager and you're old enough to stay home.
Oh, I know that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be a certain line that the parents should draw. You know what I'm saying?
I know that, dude. Believe me.
But as a kid, like say 12 and under, that's understandable. They don't want you to stay home alone,
Because if I'm 9 and whatever, then they're like, yeah, you're going to church or whatever. It's like, okay, all right then.
But
I understand it, but I get it.
Yeah, but
that's at the.
Are you adopted?
That's at the parents' discretion. No.
What were you doing in foster homes?
I was in foster care because way before this is.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
No, I want to. I'm an open book. So there was actually an act that basically I think there was like a sibling act where a family would stick together and they wouldn't be adopted. Mm-hmm. Myself and my sister were brought into that foster care system before that act was passed. So she left that group home. I think it was Polinsky. It's where we all started. We started at Polinsky, and then she went to, a foster home or, to a parents' place or whatever. So they adopted her and then kept me for like 13 years. So.
But you're not, your mom is your biological mother.
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I have experience in the foster care homes. Some of them good, some of them not, but I'm adopted.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised by white Republicans.
That was different. That's the whole deal. Like, I was the lone wolf and everything. I could not be adopted. It's kind of one of the things that,
So, your mom was considering giving you up for adoption.
No.
But she changed her mind, no?
She had battled her demon. She quit the drugs, and she.
Oh, yeah. So she basically kept you in foster care while she worked on herself.
Yeah, it was drug related. So.
I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, that's amendable. That's amendable.
It was drug addiction. Yeah.
She knew that she couldn't take care of you, and treat her drug addiction at the same. That's amendable. So she just. So you stayed with people that your parents knew.
My father served 10 years for manufacturing drugs and everything. And So,
Well, it's good that, things were taken care of at an early age, you know what I'm saying? Instead of at a later age. Because at a later age, it would have put more damage on you and your siblings.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Happy endings are always good.
Yeah, I say so. The thing that also sucks about it, though, is that my ultimate plan, like when I was a kid, I was just like, I want to go with my grandma, and I want to go with my dad, and it'd just be easier that way. Then my dad dies, then my grandma dies, and the more I start set goals for myself, the more I'm like, you gotta set that bar a little bit lower. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, adoption ain't easy,
Adoption is never easy, yeah.
I know I was a little shit from my parents.
Yeah.
Like, it took years of therapy, being in and out of original facilities to become the man I am today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the concept of Pokemon, I'm like, Charizard, I was like, you fool, you don't have enough badges to train me.
Basically.
I was kind of like that, yeah.
Basically, like, my parents, I can tell you firsthand, my adopted parents, I don't even call them adopted parents, they're my parents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my parents, right? They literally went through hell with me.
Yeah.
I did not make it easy on them. I did not. But you know, that's again, that's why adoption is one of the hardest things to do for people in the world. You know,
It is tough.
it's probably you might as well consider adoption probably being the most hardest full-time job
Yeah.
you can have. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
why not a lot of people do it. Not a lot of people are into that, you know, because they know that. Holy shit, you know. Usually adopted kids, they come with baggage, bro.
Yeah.
All adopted kids come with baggage.
Easy will tell you whenever he's,
Yeah.
whenever he comes on the show.
That's one of the things that me and Easy always talk about.
Yeah,
you know?
he'll tell you, he told you all about the adoption and everything that
Yeah.
happened. It's just, it's heavy. I was like, you fool, you don't have enough badges to train me. That's the way it was, though. Like, that's what it was. I was kind of like, I was ignorant. Don't get me wrong, but I was kind of ignorant for a reason where it's just like, like I'm the only person I'm ever speaking to is my mom or my dad or my grandma. Those are the three people that I answer to outside of that.
No one compares to Grandma, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god.
No one compares. I was Grandma's favorite, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was my grandma's favorite. I was more favored than her own children, bro. And I always thought that was like the greatest thing in the world, but like growing up,
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
it's like, damn. Looking back on it, like the way she would like talk to my mom compared to the way she talked to me was like, wow.
Yeah.
Even my mom told me one time, like, you realize grandma loves you more than I've ever felt loved by her.
She's got to feel a little bit jelly and everything, though. She's got to be like, oh.
Grandma's over here buying me $500 gifts for Christmas, and what my mom got for Christmas at that age was some socks and a dress.
My grandma, when she got SSI and everything, like her roommates had covered everything. So she goes, she brings me to the Chula Vista shopping mall, and she'd buy me like a whole bunch of stuff, dude. It was crazy.
I know, right?
This was the summer where I had GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2. What a time that was, dude! That was amazing. Like I said, I'll never once forget all the good things and all the great things my grandma has done for me. And in retrospect, I wish I could have spent more time with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she was gone for good, that was it. She was gone for good. So
when my grandma passed away, I was sitting in a fucking classroom in a level 14 secured lockdown facility.
Yeah.
In St. George, Utah.
St. George, Utah.
When my grandma died, I didn't even get to go to her funeral. I wasn't able to visit her grave until I was of the age 18 and I moved out of my parents' house.
Yeah.
I took a bus all the way from San Bernardino to Riverside Memorial, which is right across the freeway from March Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Buried right next to my grandpa, her husband.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker was probably one of the toughest people I've ever got to know. Probably, I would say, more tougher than my dad ever was. And my dad was a POW in Vietnam.
Yeah, sure.
He was a medic and stormed the beach in Normandy. No gun. No gun. Was fired at non-stop, bro, on that beach. And he survived. And he survived.
There's like also really interesting characters, especially like during World War II and everything. You think of Mad Jack Churchill, who was armed with nothing but swords and bagpipes.
For real!
Insane, dude. For real.
Those are like real warriors right there,
Absolutely.
my man. Those were like people that were like bred to go into war.
Like Simo Häyhä, he was a Finnish sniper. They called him the White Death.
Russian, right?
Yeah, no, he's Finnish.
Finnish.
275 confirmed kills on the Russians and everything, so.
Fuck.
Like I said, badasses through history, yeah. Audie Murphy was like that as well. He was a veteran and then became an actor. He's a veteran turned actor.
You ever hear of that one dude in Vietnam who was known as the #1 Tuttle Rat for the United States Army? Basically, this guy never backed down, right, from having to go into these small little tunnels that the Viet Cong, you know, they set up and shit, right? Like little tunnels underground with traps, fucking disease ridden. There was feces, you know.
Yeah.
They made sure to make these tunnels basically uncrawlable. This dude would go in there shirtless, right? Every time. Never was always like the first one to volunteer. I forgot what his name was, but like he's in a few documentaries and shit.
Yeah, quite a few.
Armed with nothing but a pistol, a knife, and a flashlight. And this guy would crawl miles.
What?
Miles under there to
that's
like
insane.
Yeah, for real.
There's a lot of
He
heroes.
volunteered to do it for some reason.
That's the whole deal. That's those are there are a lot of heroes that are like that. Yeah, there are a lot of heroes that we don't talk about. My grandpa Guadalupe, for starters, spent 4 tours in Nam. Tours, not just 2 years. Like, you know, I was like, please, son, may I have some more? It's like, you know, doing back to back terms. It's like tours. It's like, it's insane.
You know,
he scared the crap out of me too, because, you know, I meet him for the first time. I go to his trunk, whatever. It's like, you want me to carry that for you, sir? It's like, yeah, sure, no problem. He's like, but don't drop it. Those are grenades. I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, my grandpa Guadalupe, that guy was no joke. Yeah, exactly. He's like, don't drop it, son. I have grenades in there. Like, oh boy, I'll try not to. I'll try to be careful.
I'll try not to.
Exactly. Yeah.
I need a bomb vest.
What happens if you slip and fall and then freaking one of the pins breaks off and, you know.
So since we're on the topic of wars.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What would you say it would probably be history's, in your own opinion, you know, based on your knowledge of history and whatnot, you know,
okay.
What would you say was probably the worst war? I mean, there's already a ranking system online or whatever where they've ranked the most casualties in a war, and that goes to the Civil War. But I wouldn't say that's the worst war the United States have fought in.
Okay. Are we talking about the genocide, or are we talking
any war?
Yeah.
Any war.
The First World War.
You know what? I would agree with you on that one.
I know it was short and sweet, but yeah, the First World War.
I would agree with you on that one. Bro, that was the one war where chemical warfare was the name of the game, basically.
Yeah, that's the whole deal. Before they were just like, oh yeah, well you need to stop doing that because, you know. We bombed the Japanese twice during World War II, didn't we? So like I said, you know, yeah, if there's one thing that we kind of regret, that would probably be it, you know. It's just, you know.
But should we regret doing it? I mean, it was only after we dropped the bombs they surrendered.
It's a necessary evil, though. You know what
exactly,
I'm saying?
Like
I said, yeah, it's a necessary evil. Yeah.
They wouldn't, no matter what we did, no matter how many wins we got on them, you know, no matter how many bases we took in the Pacific, you know, they wouldn't quit. They were willing to kill themselves if it meant killing us.
Wasn't World War One? We got involved in that because, you know, there was a communique saying that, you know, they were planning to attack us. Yeah, they were planning to attack us. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the First World War was pretty intense. You've seen the photo, right, of, you know, the soldier that's like in the trenches that just witnessed shell shock and everything. Yeah, that's terrifying. Dude,
can you imagine though also being in those trenches, okay, I was reading about something during World War One, right, where it was really heavy in the one battle that J.R.R. Tolkien fought in, the Battle of the Somme.
Oh, the Somme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was him or somebody. He basically was saying, right, that at night was the worst time to be in those trenches.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the second thing, the second worst part about being in those trenches, was being chosen to recover people, you know, your allies.
And that's got to be the worst, too, especially in the context of 9/11. Like, you know, you had the rescue dogs or whatever trying to find the bodies and everything for weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them had to actually, like, fake act like they were, you know, getting hurt or whatever so they could be rescued, you know, because it's demoralizing as hell knowing that all your comrades are dead and everything. It's just, you know.
But going to go rescue the body, right, meant you could be fired on not just by the Germans, but also by your own people.
Yeah.
If they mistaken you, because it's dark, you know, it's like fucking pitch black where they were.
Yeah.
You know, the skies are good. Even if there's light, The skies are fucking covered by smoke and shit, chemicals.
By the way, no lanterns or anything as well. Like before, there was
Right?
actual lightings and everything. Like this photo right here, this one right here. That
My
guy right
God,
there.
yeah.
Dude, that is a terrifying image. Again, I must warn you, and this is very disturbing. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if you could see it, but it's
But like,
soldiers been shell shocked.
think about that risk of being fired at by your own people.
Oh, I know, dude. And friendly fire was all over the place.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was always the thing.
But after World War II, to avoid friendly fire, I read that in Europe, right, during World War II, they had a call sign. It was called thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
One person would call thunder, and the other one would call lightning. And if you didn't call lightning, that means that you're not on their side.
Marco Polo. No.
Exactly. Kind of like Marco Polo, you know?
It is kind of like that, yeah.
So they specifically designed that call sign system specifically because of that shit, the friendly fire and
not
all
just
the friendly
automatically
fire.
assuming an enemy and anything. It's just it's just the fact that if you were like if you go check fire or whatever, and it's just like you're.
But if you're yelling like check fire, like
you're calling shots and everything, and if that other guy doesn't respond, that guy's probably dead or compromised.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, World War One was short and sweet, but it was
short but sweet, but
it was just crazy.
Yeah, you had mustard gas, and you had all these types of germ warfare and all that other things that were going on. It was a lot.
In terms of battles, battles that were the worst, I would have to say storming the beach in Normandy. That one was okay. Saving Private Ryan, you've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most accurately. This was according to actual veterans that were there, right?
Yeah,
including my own grandfather.
It's historically accurate.
That was really historically accurate.
Yeah.
The moment that those doors opened on the U-boats, you were shredded.
Absolutely.
The man in front of you was, if they were closest to the door, most likely was dead.
You were cutting like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, even some of those bullets would get through the metal of those boats.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So there was dead bodies before you even got to the shore.
Bodies on top of bodies.
Bodies on top of bodies.
Kendrick Lamar, Mad City. Bodies on top of bodies.
Fucking, and you have young boys, basically no younger than 17. Some of them.
Be lucky you're wearing brown pants, kid. That's really what it is, dude. Honestly, you would honestly shit yourself. Just the amount of
It took the first wave
and everything. Yeah.
Practically more than half of a day of non-stop deaths.
That had to be an uphill battle, though. The whole
exactly, just to get to the fortresses,
storming the beaches and everything. Yeah.
I think that one would, in terms of all the battles that I know of, that I've read in history, that I've read in documentaries, of all the wars, I would have to say Beach in Normandy was considered to be might as well consider that one to be a suicide mission.
Who, D-Day?
D-Day, yes.
Yeah, D-Day was the Hail Mary of the war, really, when you think about it.
Hail Mary, yeah. It was a suicide mission.
That's what it was, yeah.
And the only training that most of these guys had was basic training.
You go for broke because you have nothing to lose anyway, so
exactly.
Just,
But we made it,
Yeah.
It was, and you know what those statistics of us actually winning D-Day was? Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Slim to none.
It just shows how hardcore that dedication was. Like basically, when Japan kamikaze Pearl Harbor, right?
Oh yeah, Pearl Harbor.
That rallied the shit out of every American, even blacks, Mexicans.
That's a righteous anger. So much so we put our differences aside and we recruited
for real
soldiers who were willing to
and there was African Americans that that basically were discriminated on at home, but they were like, you know what, fuck the Japanese, let's do it, let's join the white dudes who are discriminating us, and then it turns out that when it comes to shit like that, there is no discrimination, Vietnam included.
The lesser of two evils. Yes.
My dad's commanding officer in Vietnam was black.
Yeah.
His CO was a black dude, and he respected the hell out of him. He said,
"Yeah."
He still talks to his CO. His CO is like in his 90s, I think.
Jeez.
Last time I saw, he was like in his 90s, but he still looked, gruff and shit.
Yeah, I met somebody. I think he was a soldier. I think his name was it private or second lieutenant or something. He was one of the pilots. did the bombing run on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You know, imagine how hard it probably was for them too. The pilots and the bomb droppers, you know.
Yeah, that's the whole deal. You go
like they're looking above it. They're looking above that big ass populated city, and they're about to drop the deadliest bomb known to man. You know what I'm saying?
Hiroshima and Nagasaki were like the Death Stars, basically.
Basically, you know.
Yeah, it's
like you could, like if you think about it, it couldn't have been easy for them to pull that lever.
Of course not.
And drop that.
I think when it came to like bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was that was definitely one of the one of the
follow orders or we go to the brig.
One of the toughest calls they had to make, tough decisions they needed to make. You know.
But what else could we have done?
Nothing.
That we threw all of our troops at them.
It's either that or it's eternal oppression, and we're not doing
exactly.
That.
Well, by that time, Germany was already done.
America's mindset was, better than to die than to live in bondage, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically,
Now, did you read about that? I think, or it was on a documentary that I watched. Fuck.
If it was in a documentary, it was probably like in a history textbook, though. As well, so world history textbook when that happened.
Okay, so there was a manifesto sent from the Emperor of Japan to Hitler because, as you know, they were big time allies and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The Emperor of Japan had just announced to Hitler,
right?
Yeah, that they had successfully, attacked America, and apparently Hitler straight up was reading it and said to his men, his inner circle that was around him, right? We've lost. America is coming. Hitler was actually the first one to acknowledge that Germany was done.
That was a communication error, though, because wasn't it like a 3-day delay when we finally declared war on, when they declared war on us?
No, the moment, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, okay?
Yeah.
And there was a miscommunication between one of the outposts in the Pacific.
Yeah.
And where Pearl Harbor is.
Yeah.
So because of that miscommunication, we weren't prepared for that attack.
Yeah, that prompted us to, kick it into high gear and everything. Yeah.
So I might need to make a phone call to the caller car to get them to send a car to Bernadine in a little bit. But I'll step to the side.
Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, if you want to do that, Yeah, I just don't want you to.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal locations or whatever because we don't want whoever coming over to the house and opening fire on us or anything. So if you got to take that private call, take that private call. Yeah. There's been a lot of hot takes really about free Palestine and everything. And I just go, I was just kind of like, what are you guys talking about? First of all, you're selling your bodies, and then you think to yourself, oh, free Palestine or whatever. It's like, you sell your body for money. How are you going to step into this and really, get all political about it? I just don't want to hear it. I really don't. So.
But, as I was saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, after Hitler read that letter from the emperor, right?
Yeah.
He basically was so pissed off. You realize that is why basically Japan was on their own when we entered the war, right?
Yeah.
Because Germany basically right then and there cut ties with Japan. They knew the entire time that if the U.S. was to enter that war, any chances that they had, right, of completely taking over,
yeah,
was done. America has always been viewed as a powerhouse. And that's because we are.
Germany lost because they broke their promise.
What do you mean?
Well, Stalin said, do whatever you please, just do not invade Russia.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They agreed and,
yeah.
Broke that promise and everything, so,
Yeah, yeah.
So how did that work with the Axis versus the Allies and everything? Because I know, okay, so America, our conflict was with Japan, right?
Our conflict was with Japan, but because Japan is allies with Germany, or so we basically, we were under the impression. We basically said, you know what, fuck it. Send the army to Europe, send the Marines to the Pacific. The Marines will handle the Japanese, the army will handle the European invasion.
Yeah.
So that's basically how it is. You can't just take out one side when he has allies.
So the British.
We fought a war on two fronts, basically.
The British were fighting Italy. The Russians were fighting Germany, and we were just fighting everyone, basically.
We were fighting everyone that was Axis. Yes.
Yeah, we're multitaskers and everything. We did do that.
We were fighting wars on multiple fronts. That's why we knew that by joining this war, right, and fighting it on multiple fronts, this war will be over sooner.
Well, we needed to, really. We needed to end this, and we needed to end it quickly.
Exactly. Whereas if we just fought with Japan, took Japan out, okay, I need to call the car.
This is like a tag team effort, really, because, you're not really, like I said, you can't really just, be like, oh, well, that's up to you, you don't bank on a maybe.
Exactly.
You go there to finish the job completely, so. So what are y'all doing today? I'm kidding. I'm joking. Oh, jeez. Just brushed my teeth. I kind of want to eat, but I'm kind of tired at the same time, so. Cancer sucks, dude. Had an old buddy of ours named Melvin. He was a former pastor. Had died of stomach cancer, so that is very scary. That's very frightening. Just going off what they're saying and everything, cause So like I said, we just carry on every day. It doesn't get any easier. I had a friend of mine named Lorelei. Passed away last week, so she was laid to rest on Friday. She was a good woman. Comment below if you know the cult or anything about freaking war history, because we're talking about the stuff that we're covering right now, that we're currently talking about. We're getting into that. So Jay may be joining me to go to Easy's place. Or whatever, so we could talk about some stuff. That'd be cool. If he wants to invite Cash, he can invite Cash or whatever. I'm just sitting here, vibing and doing our own thing. So what's going on for Monday? What do I do on Monday? This is the part where I'm really kind of anxious, because I'm like, I really hope I get approved so I can, pay off all my debts and ultimately just live comfortably. That's what I'm trying to do. So. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man? He's my favorite character, my favorite superhero growing up back in the day and everything. So, I actually remember reading the comics when I was 9 years old. I read one. I think it was when Dr. Octopus became a villain and became a threat in the comics and everything. Of course, I never really get the full story of the messed up stuff that Spider-Man had done. Spider-Man was just really just following orders and everything. So. It was Captain America versus Iron Man, basically. If you played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Captain America Civil War is basically, the live action, movie. That's where those events are based on. The whole plot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is that, something crazy really goes down and are they pro or anti-registration? It's the whole, civil war between the two. Iron Man talks about, it's politics, and Captain America goes, no, we refuse, we're not going to bend the knee and, live in bondage and servitude. We are heroes, and that's the way we're going to be, in a huge Civil War type deal that breaks out. So, I believe Spider-Man is pro-registration, because, he's a good kid, obviously, because, and the whole deal with, the whole mentorship between Iron Man and Spider-Man, Tony Stark and Peter Parker, I don't mind it, because they're basically paving, the future. They're basically setting the stage for, the future for, setting the stage for, what is your thoughts on Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, really? Me personally, I'm just glad that, Loki's still alive, Well, it's because they're fan favorite comic book characters. You know, obviously they're gonna do really well and show up eventually. I'm just was it the next Venom or was it the new Deadpool? One of them is going to be one of the ones that are kind of like smack dab in the middle of it. I mean, what are your thoughts on Deadpool as a character, or Ryan Reynolds playing the character? Honestly, I think he's bred it and like kind of like he's made for this. You know, took a long way to get to this point from Green Lantern to Deadpool. I think there's been a drastic change.
Are we talking about Green Lantern right now?
No, we're discussing about, what are our thoughts on Ryan Reynolds as, as Deadpool. And
Deadpool, good. Green Lantern, no. Even he didn't like his role as Green Lantern.
Yeah, even he didn't. So much so that didn't he freaking kill the director of that or something? He did, didn't he? Yeah, he went back in time and he retconned Green Lantern. So.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you're talking about the Deadpool 2 movie?
Yeah.
He went back in time and killed Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. He's like, "You're welcome, Canada."
Oh no, that was the Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
That was the whole Deadpool thing.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Canada.
You're welcome, Canada. Didn't he strangle Hitler too?
Yeah,
he did.
He had the thing.
He did, rope. And it just said "A Hitler" and whatever. He was just a baby or whatever. Yeah, that was funny.
What? Didn't he say no? I'll be right back. I know a guy who loves killing babies.
Who was he referencing though?
Cable.
He was referencing Cable?
He was referencing Cable. I'll be back. I know a guy who loves killing children.
Yeah.
Because he saw baby Hitler. He was like, "Oh, I can't do this. I'll be right back. I know a guy who loves killing kids."
I think we should get Psylocke though, shouldn't we?
Psylocke was so stupid, and you're talking about X-Men Apocalypse, right? I don't even want to talk about that movie. How I read the X-Men Apocalypse comics, and I was just so disappointed with the movie.
Dark Phoenix, that's the one that you like. I would understand if you didn't like that because that was pretty underwhelming at the box office or whatever. I think it was X-Men Dark Phoenix or something, wasn't it?
The only one that I actually got jiggy with is X-Men Days of Future Past.
Just, not really Vanessa, but kind of like more so Psylocke and, and Deadpool, the whole Deadpool series or trilogy or something.
Psylocke was in
Deadpool. Vanessa, I think she was the character.
You're talking about the... You're not talking about,
because Deadpool had a girlfriend that got kidnapped.
That's Vanessa. She's known as Lady Death. There's a conspiracy that says that she's actually Lady Death.
Morena Baccarin?
She doesn't play Psylocke.
Yeah, she does. She's technically Psylocke. She played Vanessa.
No. Psylocke is a different character, bro.
Well, what's Vanessa's full name in there, though?
And the actress played in Gotham. The one who plays Vanessa in Deadpool 1 and 2. She plays Dr. Lee Tompkins in Gotham. That's the same actress.
Copycat, where the character is retconned to the first appearance of Domino in The New Mutants. The character has been depicted as a former member of X-Force. That's the thing, though, is that she didn't she die? Wasn't she Copycat then?
Yeah, but she's not Psylocke.
She's Copycat. That's weird. I hear a few different things. Because first I was told,
See, look, Psylocke X-Men. This is the actress who played Psylocke. Okay.
Who, her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
She looks different.
I don't mind that.
I mean, she fine as hell, but
yeah, I don't mind that.
And this is
Wikipedia tells you different things, so just get a second opinion.
Vanessa Deadpool.
Wasn't she Copycat?
And that's Vanessa from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Looks totally different.
Vanessa Carlyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was supposed to be Psylocke, and then it's like, no, well, she's, Copycat. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's just different.
There's a theory that...
I was looking up this thing about Mac Trey, where didn't he, die in a car accident or something? It's like, no, he was murdered. So
there's a theory that...
you get a second opinion when you go on Wikipedia, so...
I mean, it's just a Deadpool, universe theory type shit, but it's not even confirmed, I don't think. But the theory says that you're a Marvel guy, so you already know the main reason, the real reason why.
I grew up on reading Spider-Man comics, so
you know the real reason why Thanos wanted to collect the Infinity Stones and snap half of Earth's half of the existence of the universe.
Balance.
No.
No,
that was not the real reason according to the comics.
Well, according to the films, yeah.
The films, sure, yeah,
in the comics, that'd be something different, yeah, sure, absolutely.
But the comics, right?
Yeah,
the reason why he did that was because he wanted to be with Lady Death, and he thought that by basically exterminating half the population of the universe, that would please her, but it didn't.
Of course not.
It just pissed her off because he upset the balance.
Then again, in the comics, didn't Destiny and Mystique have a baby?
Mystique and Azazel had a baby, and that baby was known as Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I know, but weren't they? I mean, wasn't Nightcrawler created out of like a lesbian, entanglement or whatever? Is that you or?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay, you want to take that?
Nah.
Okay, first not. It's like no.
No.
It's like child support. Nah.
In the comics, even too. Yeah. It wasn't a lesbian thing. It was Azazel and Mystique. Yeah. Who together bore Nightcrawler.
And by the way, most badass freaking character in X2, easily.
Fuck yeah. This dude straight up walks up into the motherfucking White House, starts kicking everyone's ass,
he did,
bro.
And he did, dude. He freaking, Absolutely, that guy was so badass. And
in general, the character Nightcrawler, badass, bro. Yeah. You put two swords in his hands, you know what that motherfucker's capable of?
Not only that, but he could do the thing that Deadpool does as well, where he can also, he can teleport. So, yeah.
As long as he could see it or think of it and think of what it looks like, he can teleport there. That's fucking...
Didn't Nightcrawler save the X-Men too? Like in X-Men as well? Like, in X2 or whatever?
He basically did, yeah. When he pulled... And then Nightcrawler again in the newer version of X-Men and X-Men Dark Phoenix.
I don't like I said, I kind of missed out on those because, like I said, I saw Bryan Singer's X-Men, so that's different. That's completely separate from.
I will say this, bro.
Yeah, go.
When Nightcrawler and X-Men Dark Phoenix goes rage mode, he is scary, bro.
Who, Nightcrawler is?
Like, just whenever you get the chance, or unless you want me to show you right now, there's a scene, right, and Dark Phoenix.
Well, you can show me the clip afterwards. Yeah. Like I said, the video itself is obviously, it's got copyrighted material.
Yeah, there's a scene in X-Men Dark Knight, or there's a scene in X-Men Dark Phoenix, right, where these alien dudes, right, they're like invading the train or whatever that they're held captive on, and they kill one of the soldiers that was nice to Nightcrawler, right in front of him. Yeah. And Nightcrawler straight up goes straight demon mode, bro.
Absolutely.
He's like, starts. Yeah. He grabs a shard of metal with his tail, and he just uses his tail to just straight up kill all these alien dudes.
Yeah.
I think it was like a fallback to X2.
Yeah. Like a backup plan?
Yeah, it was like a in memoriam to X2, that scene where Nightcrawler and X2 was just straight up destroying everyone in the White House. They were basically showing off his potential.
Like if the reason why he wasn't brought back in X-Men Unite is because it takes so long to put on all the makeup and everything. So
I know, I didn't like how they didn't bring it back.
They didn't do that. No, you know what it was though? It's because it was too much for the actor Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
To actually, to put on all the makeup and everything, and I mean, they brought Beast in, so.
I know, right? Like
they could do that. I mean, come on, they could do the same thing for Nightcrawler.
It was a little disappointing without Nightcrawler in it.
Yeah, sure. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I know, right? Do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, I know. One thing that kind of bugs me, like this is the thing that kind of like irks me and bothers me. Originally before X-Men United, Kitty Pryde was played by Ellen Page. And then in the Disney Plus and everything, obviously it goes Elliot Page.
Yeah.
That's just different to me. It's like, you know, it's like, come on, that was Ellen Page. That's the whole point, you know, so.
They're more PC now.
Absolutely, yeah. And by the way, why would you have your boobs removed? You know, that's just me. Like, I'm just curious. I don't know. Like, I don't understand
Well,
that.
but I always used to think Ellen Page was fine as hell. What the fuck?
She was, and then she transitioned, and
Ellen Page. What in the fuck, bro?
yep, it's Elliot. I'm breaking his heart, obviously, because, you know, I mean, like I said, Ellen Page was very attractive. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why? Why though?
You need a minute?
Why?
Do you need a minute?
Bro, when I saw Shadowcat, okay, I was like, damn, she fits nice in that suit.
You ever played
What the fuck, bro?
You ever played Beyond Two Souls?
No.
Oh. So it's basically like if you were doing the whole trilogy.
How's it going, Midas?
You're doing the whole trilogy of those what was it? Was it David Cage? It was one of those interactive dramas. There was Heavy Rain, and then Beyond Two Souls was kind of like the sequel to Heavy Rain. Not really, but kind of like in a different, like, you know, because it was basically a trilogy of interactive dramas. There was Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and then Detroit Become Human. Beyond Two Souls, basically it's, you know, basically where a girl, like, kind of like a runaway, kind of like, it's like, you know, kind of like psychic, like detective powers or whatever, you know, and I think they had Willem Dafoe and Ellen Page in there as well, so, or I'm sorry, Elliot.
Oh, by the way, guess who pre-registered for and already got immediate access when it comes out to Star Wars Bounty Hunter? This guy.
Yeah. Right. What's going on?
I got the fucking, hang on.
For the new Star Wars game. I am going to want your thoughts on it, though, because obviously, you know, you play more of that than I do, obviously, so.
Well,
I'm not
based on the trailers and everything, bro, it just looks phenomenal.
Just keep in mind, there's been numerous Star Wars cancellations ever since, you know, Disney and everything.
Yeah, but I don't think Disney's gonna own EA.
They canceled Battlefront 3. They canceled Star Wars 1313. They canceled the Darth Maul video game, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I heard something.
They were gonna make an Obi-Wan Kenobi game. They canceled that too. I mean, like I said, they've canceled a whole lot of stuff out there, you know. So, like I said, so you pre-ordered it. Good, that's good.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I'm gonna have exclusive first access to it the moment that it's released on Xbox.
And you'll cover the first impressions or whatever on the show, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So,
I'm gonna play the entire campaign mode,
yeah.
and I'll definitely put my inputs on there.
Drop a like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. So, you know, he's going to cover that. You know what bums me out, though, is that I wanted to play Super Mario RPG, and that comes out in like 12 days, and I don't have money for that. You know, because just, you know.
They're coming out with they're coming out with another Mario game?
No, it's reimagined. You know when Square Enix?
Yeah.
Square Enix had actually did Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I never got to play that as a game. They remastered the graphics and they're bringing it over to the Switch.
I think the last Super Mario game I played
was on the NES. No kidding, imagine.
Was on GameCube.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Sunshine. You played Sunshine.
Yes.
Yeah. I played Sunshine. God, Lord knows I played Sunshine.
I think that was the last Mario game I played. Yeah. I just feel like that they could do a lot better with graphics.
I missed out on playing that I missed out on playing that because I missed out on playing that because I haven't played, you know, I didn't play Super Nintendo games. You were on two different sides of the spectrum. You were on a Super Nintendo, or you were either a Nintendo 64 or a PlayStation guy. I was a PlayStation guy. I grew up on a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah. I grew up on a PlayStation. So.
When's the next? What is going to be the next PlayStation console you're going to buy? When you're able to, are you going to go to PS4? Or are you going to skip PS4 and go right to PS5?
A 4, because I had like nearly 500 of them. But I mean, I had like nearly 500 games. But I mean, I would get a 5 because obviously the Mortal Kombat's on there. So
yeah.
I want to play the new Mortal Kombat. I want to play I want to play the new Spider-Man 2. I want to play
PS5 is still cheaper than Xbox, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Easy went to the pawn shop and there was a PlayStation. What was it? A PlayStation 5 for like $450.
That's a little overpriced.
That is a bit overpriced. And I was like, he's not completely wrong, obviously, because the PlayStation 5 itself costs like $500.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what's next on
But
mine.
for used, a little overpriced.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I mean,
$450 is a bit steep.
I've seen online deals with used, even refurbished PS5s for like $350.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I played both. I played PlayStation 4, but I mean, Xbox is always just. I played PlayStation 4, PS3, PlayStation 2. And I played Xbox 360, Xbox One. I even played the Xbox Series X before with my friend.
I played basically every console from PlayStation onwards.
But it's just something about the Xbox interface.
Oh yeah, yes.
That I largely prefer and makes it my primary console.
Yes.
The interface, the control layout, it's more simplified and more advanced.
I'm trying to stand up and stretch my legs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I sit in this damn shower chair all the time. My leg locks up and everything.
Well, we're over an hour right now.
Yeah, I know we are over an hour. You want to call it a day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna go inside and eat something when Bernie gets back. She's bringing me nuggies.
When we come back tomorrow, what do you want to talk about? Oh, we didn't talk about?
I'm gonna try to see if Gabe will come over, and I'm gonna promise him I will not let this guy mess with him.
Yeah, like I said.
I will physically remove him if I have to.
That's the whole deal. I kind of told China the same deal. I need to give him like a squirt bottle, like for the cats, but I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like, get up out of my house.
For real.
It's just,
Or like Bernadine is cool with Gabe. I could probably work something out with Bernadine where like Bernadine goes somewhere with Gabe.
That's debatable. In any event, we're going to get into that later, so we're going to get into all that, so we'll check in with you guys tomorrow and everything.
Later.
And when we come back, we'll definitely, tomorrow on the next episode of Arcade Mode, we're going to talk about Hulu and Disney Plus and that deal.
Yes.
See if that exists and, look into that and give our thoughts or whatever on it. So we will see you later. Sayonara. Game over.